You've opened up the Powers Playbook with insights to family, wealth, and real estate.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Powers Playbook. The play we're running today is going to be meeting our first guest on the show. This is a very famous guest in my life, and I'll tell you a little bit about him, I'll introduce him, and then we'll get to know him together. So just real quick, I want to preface and say one of the things that I want to do on the show is definitely have people on that I respect and want to get to know their story. One of the things that always captivates me when I am like looking for something to watch or learn is how do other people do it? Like what is their like story? What was their journey? How did they get there? What did they go through? And I believe everybody's got their own like expertise in different things in life, and it's usually the things that they get to go through. And so I want to sporadically bring in people that you'll be able to meet, will learn their story. My hope is you and myself and everybody can learn something from them in the process. I think we all have something to teach and something to give. And this really sticks with the teaching and the family part of our show. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to somebody that I have known longer than I haven't known. There's a group of people in my life that we say that, hey, we've known each other longer than we haven't known each other. And so that's pretty cool to say. I met him when I was, I would say 13 years old, probably. Went to high school together. Been friends ever since. He is now well, I shouldn't say now. He has been a buyer's agent on our team and has had great success through real estate, a bunch of different cool journey items through life that we'll get to learn about. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome you, Mr. David Frutos. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that introduction. And that was cool. I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
You're very welcome. Worthy of it for sure. I'll try to work in some other good details along the way for you. So the first thing I want to kind of just get to is how did you end up in real estate? How did you end up in this office on this show?
So how I ended up here? Well, first I was like, man, I'll just go sell some houses, man. I thought it'd be pretty easy. So I first was working at a steakhouse in Caesar's Palace. So I was in food and beverage for quite a while. And what had happened was I kind of had a little bit of shift in life. I stopped drinking. I'd say about 5 years now. So I stopped drinking.
5 years?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I had no idea, by the way, that it's been 5 years.
Yeah. So I tried not to, like a couple years ago, I kept track of it to where it was. And then somebody was like, well, if you keep track of it, it's just, you're basically like dooming yourself that it's going to be an end, a means to an end. So then I was like, all right, actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to stop kind of tracking and kind of going from there. So I was working at a steakhouse. I was a bartender there. And then when I had shifted and stopped drinking, it just wasn't the right like fit for me anymore. Mm-hmm. So at that time, COVID had happened. So everything had shut down. So everybody was kind of panicking on what to do. So I had taken the leap to go, okay, I'm gonna try real estate and see if that's something that I would enjoy. So jumped into it. Didn't work the first time. I had that one where they had to go on the online and do it digitally. So didn't do too well. And then one time I was at work and I had another job opportunity. And I don't know if you believe in like moments or kind of things like that, but I was sitting around a group of my buddies and I was like, God, give me a sign. Is this something I was supposed to do? And it was in the same line of food and beverage. And where I was sitting at, my group of friends were sitting there and they were all in food and beverage. And they all were like, oh, we got to go. We got to do this. And I was like, man, if this ain't a sign. So then I ended up seeing if they had classes to go to real estate, went to Key Realty, and then ended up doing it. And here I am. So that's my story.
That's pretty cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations again on the sobriety.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
That's really cool. I think any sort of positive outlook on life, whatever that is to you, I think is pretty cool. I do believe definitely in signs and like just things happening for a reason. I refuse to not find a positive thing in everything. You know what I mean? There's one if you want to find it for sure. So, well, I'm glad it worked.
Thanks.
And you got here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hey,
so that's
it
good.
wasn't easy by any means. So, like I said, when I first got into it, like everybody is like, oh, I'm going to make a ton of money. And I even remember telling one of the coworkers, like, all I got to do is sell one house a month. That's it. And now it's like, man, finding the one house a month is the journey. So it was a neat experience. So,
yep, you'll learn listening to this show. It's not helping the client to purchase the home. It's finding the clients.
Yep.
And in any business, no matter what, it will always be finding the clients.
Mm-hmm.
You can give the level of service, but if you have nobody to service,
yep.
then you can't give it. So very cool. What's been the biggest, there's probably a number of them for you, not drinking, but what has been the biggest shift in your life making that choice and from where you were to where you are?
I think the biggest shift I had was learning to take accountability for what I can control and being okay with not being in control of certain things. Right. So I'm a very emotional person. So sometimes I take things, I guess, offensive when they aren't offensive. So I had to kind of learn, okay, is this rational? You know, what is this person saying? Is it me personally, or is it just like, hey, I caught him in a bad moment and I'll give him a call next week and act like nothing happened. So it was a little bit of kind of that. So.
Okay. So you're learning about yourself.
Yeah. Every day. I think we had conversations like a couple hours ago, just being like, man, just to learn to take accountability and realizing, all right, what can I control in this situation and how do I make it better? So.
Do you think you would have been able to admit previously that you are an emotional person?
No. I think I fought it. I think that's what it was.
I think we all have some level of that.
I think, honestly, kind of goes back to even how I was raised and kind of things like that too, where emotions were tied to, a negative. Mm-hmm. And I think the shift is like, it's okay to be emotional. I think there's actually some power in being emotion. It's just being vulnerable enough to do so. And I think that's the kind of that line.
Absolutely. I think the fact that you're willing to say that about yourself and using it as like power that you have now versus maybe what others could have like jabbed at you mm-hmm. with it. You know what mm-hmm. I mean? So, thank you for transitioning to family, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going to go that direction. So I did want to ask you about that. So, for all of you, I'm going to preface kind of my story a bit, and then I'm curious as to yours. So, for those of you that don't know, I have 4 parents. My parents got divorced when I was like 1.5, somewhere in there. And so ever since I was basically 3 years old, I've had a stepmom and a stepdad. Okay. So my mom and my stepdad, that's kind of the house that I grew up in. My dad and my stepmom, still super close. I used to visit my dad once a month or so. But my parents have always been, like in my memories, they've always been apart. Right. But I also gained 2 other parents in that. So like my dynamic is different than most. Right. So like my wife, Emily, her parents are high school sweethearts. They've been together their whole lives. They're still together. So totally like different dynamic. But I'm curious for you, because I know you're going to tell us, but your parents are no longer together. But when we met each other, they were together. And that was the household that I met you in. So I'm curious as to like, how was it growing up, and then after being apart, like how did you deal with that? Because you were old enough to understand, where I wasn't. And then if you could just kind of share what that like dynamic and growing up and how that shaped like where you're at today.
Yeah. So like you said, when I was when we had met, I believe it was like middle schoolers around
high school. Yeah, I moved to Vegas in sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
That would have been when we met.
So I was born in San Jose, California, right? I have 5 sisters and 2 older brothers. Shout out to my mom. Where's the camera? Mom, happy birthday. Today is her birthday. Ooh. So I want to say that to her. So
happy birthday, Mom. 5
sisters, 2 brothers, and then pretty good dynamic. I think at one point my 2 older brothers lived with us. I lived like there was maybe 5 people in the household at one point. We were all living together. So it was interesting to say the least. A lot of I think I had mentioned you're not a younger sibling if you haven't taken a cold shower. You know what I'm saying? You had to wait in line and kind of do all that. So, but I think being where I was at kind of helped me benefit it. My brothers, they went to the college. They're college athletes, so they went to got scholarships and things like that. So that competitiveness kind of stuck with me and kind of helped me along the line. So, but it was interesting. It was a different dynamic, definitely. So, but it was cool to have two parents there to be supportive and things like that. But eventually, when things kind of got later on in life, you know what I'm saying? They eventually went their separate ways and kind of did that. So,
yeah. From what I know, I think they're both like in a good place apart though too, right? Correct. Yeah. Cause I know your dad and your mom both since have seemed to be doing well. So
yeah, my dad recently just moved out to California, which was at first was scary for all of us, but I think like everything, anytime the first time you do anything, it's going to be scary. But looking at it now, he's doing really well. So that's awesome. And then my mom's the same thing. She's retired now, spending time with the grandkids and doing what she should be doing. So that's awesome.
Very cool. 5 sisters and 2 brothers.
Yep.
That's a lot of. I'm an only child, 1 stepbrother.
Oh man,
So
dude, I had hand-me-downs, dude.
Yep.
And I think that's the reason why I like new things
Like
and stuff
things
like
your
that.
own,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, nah, man, I've had hand-me-downs my entire life. So maybe even why I don't even like leftovers, dude. I don't even
Interesting.
So.
Because it's funny, like I'm now like, I'm a parent. I have a 4-year-old and Violet is about to be 6 in a few days. And like I'm learning the sibling thing like through my kids for the first time because like I didn't have that in the house like day to day all the time. So it's just like so interesting to
the fighting,
to see
like all that, like that's it. I would guess looking at it from a parent, it's like, oh, but like that's kind of natural. Like it's just 2 people with different identities going at each other, and then it's like, okay, they have to live with it. You know?
I mean, there are definitely times already where I'm like, you guys figure it out. I'm like, I'm not gonna win no matter what side I did.
Yeah. And the cool thing is like they are their first best friends. You really think about it. Like they're gonna talk to each other, they're gonna do everything, and they're gonna look out for each other in school and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool. I wish I had a sibling that was closer in like relationship like that. Because my younger sister, she's 4 years younger than me, and then my older brothers, I think they're like 10 years older than me. So gotta have a little bit of a.
So nobody like super close.
Yeah. Like my brothers had each other, so like they were super competitive. So it was like, and then I had me and my little sister. So
interesting. My kids are 23 months apart, so they're gonna be at it for
golden,
life.
Man. Yep, you're golden.
Oh man, that's really cool. Well, thank you for sharing.
Of course, man.
Always interesting to hear the dynamic of how all that works. And happy early birthday to you.
Thank you.
Because your birthday's as of filming this, would be 8 days away.
February babies, man.
8 days away. I'll never always remember it because it's Kobe's second number.
Yep, 2-4.
That's how I always remembered. Yep.
Those are my 2 favorite numbers too.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple. I have 2, 4, and 8.
Okay. All right.
So.
All right. Yep. You're on the Kobe train with me,
Yep,
whether you like it or not.
Yep. So.
Well, very cool. I want to shift into friendship a little bit.
All right.
And ask you how it was in school years, like, and where and when did you find your confidence after that? Right? Because how I know you now and how we knew each other then, we're both completely different people, right? So I want to know, like, what was the moment where you kind of found like David and who you are, and then also, what do you think is the biggest difference of David now versus the David that we all used to know?
It's funny because like the 2 people that are in this room like know the old David, so it's kind of it's kind of neat. But man, I think even now I'm still trying to figure out who I am. You know, it's kind of a daily thing. But the David that was in school was like, he was mean. He was insecure. That's what it was. He was dealing with a lot of childhood trauma that I had. It was like growing up, I had crooked teeth. I had a big nose. I had a widow's peak. I had like everything, you know? So it was tough in the beginning. Like everybody had a high school nickname, and mine was Burrow, dude. Like I had to deal with that throughout high school. So like I had you know, the cliche of like, hey, getting picked on. I didn't get put in any locker or anything like that. But it was,
Sure.
you know, high school wasn't the best in a sense, right? So I'd say probably I found out who I really was probably about 4 or 5 years ago, kind of right around the same time I stopped drinking. I kind of had to take a look in the mirror. One night it was a multiple kind of things that had happened, but one night I went out, drank way too much, woke up the next day and was like, man, this isn't for me anymore. So ended up stopped doing that, and then kind of shifted my mindset a little bit and realized, okay, I started looking at myself, right? I had friends around me, and at one point I was out golfing, and my buddy was like, hey man, don't worry, we're going to take care of you. We're going to get your teeth fixed. And I was like, but for me, I was like, man, that's one of my close friends. Like, I could be vulnerable with this. And I'm like, you're right. And instead of like taking it as a negative, I'm like, how do I spin this into a positive, right? So then I ended up going, getting some Invisalign done, kind of doing that. And then that kind of was able to build my confidence in a sense. But I mean, shoot, I still struggle with it a little bit. So,
Yeah.
But
you chose to do something for yourself.
correct.
I think
well,
it
also took like a reflection period to be like, okay, like I know I messed up, like in like where I was at, and I go, okay, and I'm willing to take the criticism that I need in order to become better in a sense, right?
Yeah.
So instead of always fighting it and be like, why? It was like, okay, let's see if I can really do this and see if it does something for me. So
I love that. I think in what we do or what you choose to do, and in being in something where you own and operate your own business in a sense, because that's really what anything like real estate commission or sales based is like you're owning everything, right? Like you're paid direct in proportion to the work that you do, nothing more, nothing less.
But isn't it like, even with now though, like even in real estate, you have to put yourself in those situations in order to get that.
Yes. So I think the thing is like when you're younger, or at least for me, when you're a kid, like you avoid the uncomfortable.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's just natural. Like your brain is wired, you know, your parents tell you like, hey, just stay safe. Don't go.
Yeah.
You know, make sure you're okay. You know, my mom was like, you better take a jacket if you leave the house.
I know. It's like, it's sunny, mom.
Right?
What are we
Like,
talking about?
All of these things. And I think that sets you up in life to like be careful, not take chances. Don't take risks. And like uncomfortability is bad. And I think when I got into like doing this, like where the business is whatever you want to make it, you flip that on its head.
Oh, for sure.
Like you basically have to crush any belief system you had previously and do it when it's like the more uncomfortable is what you should do.
Yeah. It's like when it feels uncomfortable, you're like,
Yeah.
man, I probably should lean towards this.
You know, like when you're at the school dance and like you're looking at like the girl across
she looks
that
at
you
you and you're
that you're like, you really want to ask her to dance, but you're like stuck to the wall and you're like, damn. Like, am I going to get up the courage to go over there and ask? Because like if I did, it would probably work out just fine.
Oh, for sure.
But like inside, that eats at you, right? And then you end up not doing anything, and then you always think about what could have been. I think that's the biggest difference between probably us then and now.
Oh, I think, yeah.
Right now, you know, I saw Emily across the room, I'd go ask her 10 out of 10 times, right?
No,
like
right? That's true.
there's not even a thought. Or if there's like, you know, a neighborhood that we want to prospect, like I'll knock on every door. Right? Like I don't care who answers the door. I'm not scared to talk to anybody.
That's the thing too, is with real estate, like that, I think that's what gave me my confidence too, as well, is like, I have to do the uncomfortable things to get what I want. So like for me, the first door I knocked on, oh yeah, it was intimidating as all heck.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it's okay.
Yep.
Like, I knock on wood, I haven't had a door slammed on my face. I haven't had anybody like yell at me off. They're not as bad of a story as we tell ourselves. And I think that's the realization, is like, I can tell myself a story, but it's like, all right, what's the reality of it? Is that really going to happen? And like 10 times out of 10, it doesn't. So
Yeah. Most people want to be kind.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they don't want to be rude. Now, if you catch them like on the wrong day in the wrong moment when they're not prepared, then like, yeah, you may get the worst version of that person in that moment. But if you called that same person a week later and everything was going fine, they probably talk to you just like anybody else.
Probably answer from like your best friend, man. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How's it going?
So I think that is a bit of a misconception in just sales in general, is that like, you know, everybody's mean and they're all going to like tell me off. And it's like, well, not really. I think they're just, you know, making sure like, do I need this right now? And if not, then they're going to happily let you go. However nice or mean that they want to take that. But
I will say that that's one of the reasons why, to touch on a little bit, why I came to your team. Like I said, I've known you for quite a while. So I saw what you were doing in real estate, and I knew getting into this, I wanted somebody who was going to kind of tell it like it is and tell me what I need to hear, not necessarily what I want to hear. And the first person I thought it was you when I thought about that. So that's one of the main reasons that I came and joined the team. Wanted to be there, be a part of this. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. My wife tells me sometimes I tell people too much of
yeah, it's okay though.
I'm too direct.
It's okay for some people that work. Like for me, I like it.
Yeah.
For some people it doesn't, but for me, I'm like, all right, I know that he cares.
I just think it's important to be honest and authentic, and I'm like, I think you're always going to know where I stand.
Yeah.
I would rather, like, I don't know, that's just my personality, but I would rather have that than to be like, oh, you know, like, I don't know. So I think now I have a tendency to just be like, and I think some of that is the same thing, like confidence, you know, as you like progress in what you're doing and you kind of become and figure out like who you are. Like, I know my weaknesses, you know, I know my strengths. I know the things I'm probably going to have to say sorry for or falter on. And I think you figure those out as you get uncomfortable. And you do the things, and then you know, kind of learn who you are.
Well, I think too is knowing that you can address that when you have that too. Hey, I know this is one of my flaws and I'm working on it, but I also need help in doing so. So it kind of takes it out to where like you're acknowledging it and knowing that it is something, but it's also something I'm working on. I'm like, can you help me on this? And then it kind of puts it on them to where like, well, yeah, I'm going to help you, instead of like, no, I don't, you know, so it makes them kind of, so.
No, trust me, there's always more to learn and grow into. That's for sure. I do want to ask you about golf.
What you got?
So I want to transition into that a little bit. So, David's the best golfer I know. Oh, stop. So I'm just gonna tell you guys that
Aaron needs to find more people, man.
He's the best golfer that I've golfed with, and I don't golf a ton, but David golfs a fair amount, and he's pretty darn good at it. I'm just gonna say it for him because maybe he won't say it. So, how did you get into golfing, and what is it that makes it a passion for you? Like, why do you enjoy it so much?
Oh man, like I said, my older brothers are athletes, and they played football in college. So one year I remember specifically, my older brother, Oscar, came out and he was golfing, and we went to a golf course, and first time I ever picked up a club, and I had no idea what I was doing.
How old are you?
Oh, I was probably like 13, 14.
Okay.
So it was super young, right?
Yeah.
And then we went out. He ended up playing. I played like crap, so bad. And then after that, I was like, you can get me in football, but you're not gonna get me in golf. And then ever since then, it was just kind of like a passion of mine just to get better at it. So, and it's one of the very few sports where like you gotta forget whatever bad shot you had, and you just move on to the next one. It's kind of like almost like life. Like you can't control what happens. All you can do is, all right, where's my lie? What am I going to do next? And let's try to get par. So,
yeah, golf for me is something I have to do more consistently. I think, well, that's probably life in general. All things, the more consistently you do it, the better you're going to get. But that's like the one like sport that is like you versus you. Because like what I'll do is like I'll have a bad shot, and then I'm like, damn it, you know. And then the next one I can't clear, you know, just like start over. And then hit the net, you know. So like after I'll be, you know, like 3/4 of the way through the round, so a hole like 13, 14, and I'm like, oh, getting some good swings in finally. And then I don't play again for too long of a period of time, and then I can never So that's the thing. I got to do it more consistently, I think, more than anything.
Golf's interesting because I say this to people. It's the one sport where, like baseball, you want more at bats. Basketball, you want more shots. All that stuff. Golf, you want to go out there and swing the least amount, which is weird. Like when you think about it, it's funny. Weird. It's weird, but that's kind of the nature of it.
So true. So true. All right. Well, we'll get out there.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, ultimately the reason why is because I'm super competitive, and somebody took me out there and beat me, and I was like, I'm not going to be in this position again.
That's awesome. Let me see here your top. How many do we want to say? Let's say top 5 courses in the Vegas area.
So for me, so I'll give you my top. The first one, it's not even a course anymore. Lennar has built on it, but is the first place that I got my hole-in-one. So it'll be forever my favorite. It was Black Mountain Golf Course. It was up off Horizon Ridge.
Yeah.
So that's the first place I ever hit hole-in-one. So like that's gonna be for sure my number one. Was it the best? No.
So
it was like hitting off concrete.
So somebody's Lennar new build is your hole-in-one.
So whoever's on hole 13, like that was my spot right there.
Love it.
Black Mountains it was okay. I really like I like Revere because I used to work there. So I used to play there a lot. Rhodes Ranch I really like too as well. Sienna is another good one out there, like kind of in the Summerlin area too. Tuscany's good. The only thing about Tuscany is they like push people like your tee times are like 10 minutes between each other. So
yeah, I know.
You're just like 4, boom, boom, boom.
Hey, can you guys speed it up a little bit? I'm like, man, no.
Yeah.
I paid as much as they did.
Yeah. That's what I tell people when like, so we'll go out and some of my buddies, they're new to it and they're like trying to rush. I'm like, listen, guy behind you paid just as much as we did, dude. Take your time. Don't even worry about it. So, but I don't try to go for the high fancy kind of courses, man. I like to shoot around like the course over here, Legacy. I mean, they got a good rate right now, so it's not too bad. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and ask you about, we just had Valentine's Day.
Yes, we did.
So let's talk about your romance.
My Valentine's?
Yes, your romance in life. Tell us who is your Valentine?
My Valentine.
How did you guys meet each other?
Oh, she's going to love this story. Depends on who you ask. You might get 2 different stories.
Okay. Well, I'll take your version.
But see, I like to say this one like she's going to hate it. I wasn't drinking, so I knew exactly what happened that night.
Oh, okay.
So my Valentine was Kylie. Her and I have been dating 4 years. It'll be the 4 years on the 26th of this month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cool.
I will say this, speaking of like this is like my first relationship being in and like not like having alcohol or drinking. So there's a lot of like emotions that come up to where I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. Right. So I have to have those tough conversations. And I think real estate and doing that and kind of help me have those conversations. But one night we had met at Parkway Tavern. So we were out and about. I was with one of my old coworkers. His name's Tony. Big old little guy. Kind of looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Got shaved head and stuff. He was there for Halloween a couple of times. But
I totally want to play his music.
So we ended up going to a Golden Knights game, and afterwards he wanted to go to Parkway. So we ended up going to Parkway, and at the time my hair's probably still as long as it is right now. I wanted to get braids done. So we're at Parkway, and there's this guy there who had these long braids, and I was kind of chatting with him, and that happened to be the person that Kylie came to the party with, right, to Parkway. So I had saw Kylie over at the corner, right, and I was like, oh, she's kind of cute, go talk to her, blah, blah, blah. So she had came up, kind of said hi, and she had mentioned that her birthday was coming up. I'm like, oh, let's take birthday shot. She's like, oh, okay. I wasn't going to take a shot. So I literally I order one, I give it to her.
That's hilarious.
She's like, oh, are you going to take one? I was like, go ahead and take one at the bar. No big deal, right? So she ends up, having a shot, whatever, so she had told me when her birthday was. So I remembered that, right? So I end up, Tony comes back up to me. He's like, man, I think I'm going to leave. I'm like, you know what, dude? I think I'm going to ride this one out, man. I think I got a shot here, man. So we ended up staying there for, I think like an hour or so. And we ended up sitting down at a table and kind of talking. And then we exchanged numbers. And that was it. She ghosted me for a month and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. It was like, hey,
Kylie, that's not very nice.
hey, hey, you know, and I would, and I like, granted, like, I think it happens, right?
Yeah, you're a
I was just a random party at the bar. Hey, now that I think about it, somebody that, hey, she got a drink was purchased for her, mission accomplished, right? So
That's hilarious.
Me being the persistent person that I am, would text her, and I knew at that time she was going.
You were lead generator.
I was,
lead
bro.
generated.
I was following up,
and you were following
crazy,
up,
bro.
Yeah,
My follow up was insane, dude. So she ended up going. She was going to a trip to Florida for her birthday, and I just so happened to remember it. And I had kept texting her, and I was like, "All right, this is it. This is my last text." And I was like, "Hey, happy birthday! By the way, whenever you get back in town, is there a day that I work where I can take you for your birthday dinner?" And I got a response.
Nice.
Yes. I was like, oh man, we're winning, right?
Yep.
So she goes, yeah, Friday would work. And I go, sweet, cool. And then I look at my work schedule and I'm working Friday. So then I got to immediately cancel the date with her. And she goes, okay, I'll let you know when my schedule opens up again. I'm like, oh, dude, I lost it. And then I was like, well, what about this day? So I threw a date out and she was like, yeah, that'll work. And then ended up taking her to a date, and it's funny because she had no idea that I wasn't drinking at the time. So we go, I pick her up. We go to Nora's, nice little Italian spot there.
Norris is good.
I get some Pellegrino for the table, blah, 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 do whatever. We ended up eating. So I was like, hey, you want to go to a bar? Like, you know, she's like, yeah, of course, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we end up going to a local bar here, PT's, where my buddy used to work. And I pull up, and as soon as I park, I go, hey, I got to tell you something. So I don't drink alcohol. She goes, what are we doing here then? And I didn't think about it at the time, because now that she tells the story to other people, like, yeah, why don't you go bowling or miniature golf? And I'm like, I couldn't even think of those. Like, those never even crossed my mind.
I think subconsciously you were probably doing what you know she would, where you met her, so you know she would enjoy it, right?
So then went there, had a good time, and it's kind of been our story ever since. So.
That's cool, man.
Telling you, it's all in the follow-up, gentlemen, guys.
Yeah.
So persistency. Where's my camera? Be persistent. Yes. I'm telling you.
So we have this saying in real estate, and it's the fortune is in the follow-up. And what it means is you'll meet a bunch of people, you can call whatever, receive anything, but you still have to convert that into somebody who wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, right? In what we do. And so we always say the fortune is in the follow-up. Right? You can get rich off of generating leads, but you're going to get wealthy off of following up. So kudos to you on the follow-up, sir.
I appreciate it. I was doing this before I even realized it.
Now you know.
Now I know.
That's awesome. Well,
it's a cool story, man. Like, it's a story I tell people, and it was good. Like, man, hey, like I tell people, anything that's worth something to you you're gonna have to fight for it somehow, some way.
Absolutely right. Yeah, nothing worth having is easy.
Yeah.
I'll always say that. Nothing worth actually having ever comes easy.
Yeah.
If it did come easy, you probably wouldn't appreciate it, and you probably won't have it very long.
Now I'd be interested if you ask that question, Kylie, what her version of that story is.
Well, I mean, if she's open to it, maybe I'll have to have her on the show.
We might have to.
Then we can compare.
Just clip it. She'll clip her spot right here.
No, you know how they do those side by sides. Yeah. We'll get you, and you'll tell, and you'll stop, and then she'll go. And then we can take votes as to whose story is legit.
She's taller than me, right? And I will say this: at first, I was a little insecure about it. Not gonna lie, and I think she was like feeling that a little bit. So when I was texting her, she was probably like, he doesn't even remember that I was taller than him. But little did you know, I was like, I remember everything. So it was kind of cool.
That's great. Well, congrats to you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
4 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been going. That's really awesome. Oddly enough, Emily and I met at a bar.
It's crazy that you can still meet people now. Like, you didn't swipe right. Have you ever done any of that?
Okay, so I've never swiped right.
Oh, dude, your thumbs are good.
Yeah, when Emily and I met, there were no apps to my knowledge for dating, and so we met in real life. That's IRL now, right?
Yeah,
IRL in real life. And I was at a T-Birds, if you remember T-Birds, before PT's bottom. So that's where we met. Same thing at a bar. So bars are good. Look
at us, dude. We lead generated before we even knew
it. Guys and gals go out to the bar, and you never know. Might meet your future person.
Correct. You might have to chase him for a little bit, but it's okay.
I wanted to ask you a follow-up question about you and Kylie. Can you tell us what your age difference is? And does that does that make your, like, does it make your relationship any more difficult, do you think? I'm just more curious. Emily and I are the exact same age.
Oh, no. I think Hallie and I are 9 years apart. So I'm 9 years older than her.
Okay.
And yes, it does.
Okay.
It's just two different ways of thinking. So it's taught me to be a little bit more patient and a little more understanding. To be like, okay, what was, like, sometimes I go, man, what were my thoughts at that age? and like, seriously, and it puts it a little bit in perspective to be like, mine were pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I think that was the one of the biggest challenges is I had is being like, why can't you think like me? Right? And then expressing that, but not like shoving it down somebody's throat, and being able to express how I feel and then take it in and in a receptive way. And that's kind of what she's taught me along the way. So,
yeah, I was gonna say I would assume it's easy to say like, well, you're older, right? So like you have been around longer, have more knowledge. But I'm curious to know, like, what is her being younger than you teaching you as well?
Oh man, it teaches me a lot, dude. It teaches me not to take things too personal either. Like, and also like, man, life goes by quick. 10 years, it goes by so fast. So it's like, man, is it really worth getting into art? Like, and that's something that I account to her too as well, is it makes me think a little bit more about my actions before I say it and then go, oh man, because I was one of those where I'd say it and then I'm apologizing for everything I said. And now my argument is mute, right? And now I have to think about it a little bit. Okay, like if I say this, how is this person going to take it? And if they take it that way, that's not what I'm trying to get at. So it's just asking more questions.
Yeah, which really is the answer to any sort of communication, problem, solution, anything is ask more powerful questions.
Well, also too, like, just because I want to have the conversation doesn't necessarily mean that person has to have that conversation too as well.
Yep.
And that's where I struggled, because for me, I'm like, I got to fix it now. And some other people need to take time to figure out. And I'm like, no. There is no time to be taken. We got to get it out now. And honestly though, if I think about it and if I had taken some time in some conversations that I had, they may have turned out a little bit better. So.
Well, for sure. Also too, like, because you already stated like you're more of an emotional person. So I assume the like right now fix it also heightens emotion at the same time. And then, add when you were drinking into that and like, who knows, right?
I hate everybody in this place. Yeah. I'm walking home.
Yeah. I've learned that as well. I have a tendency to like just want to solve every problem because that's kind of like what I do. What we do for a lot of people,
we
like
put out fires.
Day to day, is like, something comes in that can wreck what we're working on, and then we have to solve that issue to keep the train moving, right? And so I'll have those conversations with Emily all the time, and I've had to now realize like she doesn't need me to fix it. She just wants me to hear her. Like I need to be receptive. I need to shut my mouth and turn my ears on, right? Like God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Yep. Like, listen, idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to remind myself of that, of like, I think if she wants my opinion on how to fix it, she would ask.
Correct.
Rather than just stating. So I'm a slow learner.
Oh, same, bro.
It's taken me a long time.
We had to learn to be a friend when they need a friend. And when they want something, they'll ask you for it. And for me, I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Well, why didn't you do this, this, and this?
Yeah.
Same. And she's like, no. It shuts down and you're done. I'm like, oh man, that's not. Same. But it's also comes across when something comes up. It's like, okay, like, do you want help in figuring this out, or are you just trying to like work out your emotions? It's like, oh, I just want to work. Like, perfect. I hate that person too.
I'm gonna use that. Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they suck. No, who was that? Yeah, terrible, man. I don't like his shoes either.
Oh, that's great. I'm definitely using that.
And sometimes like your significant other, whether they're right or wrong, just kind of needs you to know that you have their back. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is if you go there and even if they're wrong and you say, it's all good, I got you. Like, for them, it's going to build the confidence. And I think that's what that's what I would want. So.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely. You're a pretty wise man.
No,
David.
man. A lot of failures, and then a lot of just the people I surround with, my family, mom, my dad, my brothers. That's the biggest thing is like my older brothers are huge role models to me. They got kids and kind of things like that. So it's cool to see my brothers transition from my brothers to like fathers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
Like real functioning adults.
Yeah, like I literally saw my older brother have his first beer with one of his older sons.
Oh wow.
It was the weirdest thing.
Wow.
And the crazy thing is he crushed it. And Andre was like, yo, this isn't his first beer. And I'm like, I could have told you that. So it's just cool seeing that like little dynamic. So it's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Plus,
Very
like I never like hung out with my brothers just by myself at like an adult age. Because they had each other, and then they had moved, went to college, and they had built, lived their own lives, and then I had grown up, and then they had kids. So like, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, one of my older brother who lives in Tennessee, he had came into town, and I'm like, oh, I haven't hung out with Andre. Oh, for sure. And I think I took like a month and a half off, and was just in California. We're just like hanging out with him, so it was cool.
That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta spend that time, especially if as much as they mean to you. Like now that you understand and know that too, right?
Well,
that's the cool thing.
I had, what had happened is when I used to visit, I didn't stay that long, and the quality of visits weren't that great. So what had happened is my uncles, my brothers and sisters would have to tell my nieces and nephew, hey, this is your Uncle David. Go, and that killed me. And at that point I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it a point where like they're gonna know that I'm their uncle. And I try to show up to birthdays and kind of things like that just to be a presence. So
that really is true with kids. I never realized that until all my experiences are are mine, like my kids. And it's true, if they change and grow up so fast that if you're not regularly around, they will have to remember the people that aren't in their lives on a at least semi-regular basis, because there's so much going on around them, right? And they have, you have a big family, so they're gonna be like, damn, how many aunts do I have? So there's a lot to it. So I do think it is important. And today now, like we have FaceTime.
Yeah.
You got all those other things that like when we were little, it's like they had to be right in front of you.
Yeah.
So.
See, and I'm still working on, like, for me, I think that the FaceTime and all that stuff is like a cheat. I'm like, just make a phone call, go visit. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's something that I gotta.
That's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way. I don't. That's not my go-to.
No.
But like so Kylie's generation or anybody younger, they're probably on FaceTime before they make a phone call. Because like that's their method of communication that they grew up with. It's so interesting to me how that works.
Dude, I had asked somebody if like somebody goes up to you, like another woman, hey, are you more comfortable giving out your phone number or your Instagram? And they said Instagram. I was like, what? I was like, yeah. I'm like, but like basically what it does is you could kind of screen them a little bit to see, and then you
could follow, right?
Dude, I'm like, man, we didn't have that. We had MySpace back in the day, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
You're probably top 8. You're probably on my top 8 easily,
You're probably on my top
easily,
8 for sure.
Easily.
Any of you who don't know what the top 8 is, look it up,
dude.
MySpace.
Good old Tom, bro.
Yeah, MySpace was a jam.
Tom was my number one friend.
You get your song on there when you went onto the page.
That was like coding for the beginning for kids, dude.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was a good time. Good stuff. Okay. Transition and kind of let you off after that. So I am curious as to like what you'd want to share or give. Like what are some of the lessons you've learned through real estate, maybe specifically, or just like your career and what you're doing now that you can share that maybe we haven't touched on yet?
I think the biggest thing is the word no doesn't hold as much weight as what everybody thinks. It's just another opportunity. So I think that was the biggest thing, is when people hear that word no or rejection. You got to kind of go, okay, they're not rejecting me. They're just maybe rejecting what I'm bringing to the table. And that's okay. So that was one of it. And then ultimately the other one was being getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. I think that was kind of the one lesson that I got the most out of. So, yeah.
Both very true.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there ain't nothing like going and knocking on some random person's door and be like, "Hey, man," and then getting their information afterwards, and then them calling you in 6 months, being like, "Hey, thanks for following up. Guess what? We need something done." And you're like,
"Yep."
So,
hey, if you can turn a stranger into a friend, you can operate and be successful at any business you choose.
I think honestly, even like nowadays, man, like everybody needs a friend, man. Everybody needs just somebody to talk. Like, and I think that's like the cool thing about this is, regardless, like, just trying to make new friends, man. And if they, happen to, sell real estate, that I've made so much of an impression to them that they want to come to me and do all that. So that way, when I call people, I don't have to remind them on a daily basis that I'm in real estate, right? It's just like, oh, David's such a cool person, and he happens to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
most people want to support you.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to
That was
tell.
another scary thing too, is like, you call everybody in your database and you think, man, nobody wants to hear from me. And you will be surprised on how many people will go out of their way just to help you out.
Yeah. You just have to ask, right? Do a whole show on that. But no, I totally agree. Rejection is not what most people think it is. If somebody's truly rejecting you as a human being, that's a totally different thing. But in what we do, rejection is just like, hey, I'm not ready for that right now. Like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to sell X, Y, or Z or whatever it is. It's like, great. And the thing about it is, if you didn't ask again in 3 months, would they remember that you could help them, or would they just find the closest person in proximity and do it with them instead because they didn't remember that you were the one, right? So I think that's why follow-up is so important, but definitely uncomfortable. Anything you want to have success in life, you've got to get uncomfortable. I don't care what it is. If the butterflies are like going around in your tummy and
it's a sign,
and you're feeling some type of way, you need to run towards that feeling more.
I think they even say too, like, your brain doesn't know the difference between like fear and anxiousness. So like the fear, what you're feeling, it could be actually anxiousness, and you're taking it as fear. Yeah. And it's like, there's a very thin line that's right there to where you're
it's
like,
okay. Fear, excitement, and anxiety is like all the same neuro reaction. You get to frame it in what way that you want it to work for you, basically. Yeah. Is kind of the detail in that. The last thing I wanted to share, I remembered from earlier.
Okay. And I was wondering if it was going to
no. It came back to me. And it was that you had mentioned that you were willing to like look in the mirror, right? And see yourself and like make the change or know that and I decided, I don't know how long ago now, but I basically like just one day chose, I'm never going to blame anyone else for where I'm at. Like it's really easy to be like, well, so-and-so did this and that's why I'm here. Or like my parents didn't do X, Y, or Z and that's why I'm there. And like, it's their fault. And I, when you said that, it just reminded me, like, I just choose to take accountability in everything that's in front of me. Like, no matter what, if there's an issue, even though if it had to do with somebody else, like, what was my part in it? Like, what could I have done better? Like, what can I do? And I think when you get to a point in life that you're willing to like find your part in good or bad in everything, you can truly start to make change.
Oh yeah. I
think that is like the common denominator for a lot of people that were, here, now they're there, or like you've built your confidence, right? And all of those things is you choose to go like, okay, well, how do I get better? Right? Like, what do I do differently? How do I ask better questions? Like, how do I listen to Kylie when she needs to vent and not try to fix it? Like,
oh, I'm still working on that, dude.
Me too. Maybe that was a bad example. But that's really the thing. I think that is the separator is, can you honestly take accountability that like you are exactly where you're at in life because of you, not because of anybody else or everyone else. Right. And
I think too, like, all these people like Kylie, my dad, Dan, you, you guys help support me so much with just being there that, like, man, it was tough at the beginning, man. I'm not going to say it was easy, man. Like, I was delivering for Uber Eats, man. I'd come in here to the office, work till like 5 o'clock, hop in my truck that I had at the time, drive around for 4 hours just to make $100 just to pay the bills, man. There was times where Kylie would pack a little Lunchable for us and she would drive and do that. Dan would be in there. So, like, the good thing is I had a good group of people around me to help me so that they wouldn't let me like fail. They'd sit there and they'd be supportive to be like, all right, cool. Like, I can do this. Like, I got people around me that are in this with me. So I think that's the biggest thing too, is I learned who my friends were and who like weren't my friends, or who were just there for the fun and not for the suck. So you know what I'm saying? Because I want people for the suck. Like, you know, that's where you learn who you really are, man. Like, it's cool to hang out when everything's good, but when things are bad, it's like, who can I depend on? Right. So I think that was it was eye-opening. It hurt, but get over it, right? So,
I mean, that's a huge lesson. Like, what do they say? You become the five people you spend the most time with, or you become the 5 people who are within the closest proximity to you. Like, and if you look around, you're like, dang, yeah, I got a piece of them. I got a piece. So it's like, choose wisely.
For real.
Right? Like,
for real.
Like, choose who you're going to let in. Like, don't let everybody in, right? Like you can be good to all people, but like those that can actually affect you on a regular basis need to be carefully chosen, I think.
Yeah.
And your environment will create a lot of what you get or don't get, which again is your choice, right? Like, it's still on you whether you allow that person to stay in your life or not, right? And I think we can all probably think of a couple people that used to be or now are no longer around that, you know, didn't support or just weren't, you know, good for that time. Let's see if I can quote Taylor Swift correctly. Some people come into your life for a reason. Others, they come into your life for a season. And either one is okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the part of it, is getting okay with, like, I think in the beginning of real estate, you had told me there's going to be a natural separation that just happens. But to talk about it is one thing, but for it to actually happen is where you're like, whoa, I don't get the text that I used to anymore. Like, right. Or I don't get the call like this, that, and the other. And then you realize, like, was it because, oh man, did they really think about me? I'm like, man, I spent my time and effort into that. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use it as a learning lesson, and I'm gonna do that moving forward. So,
hopefully Taylor. I think Taylor said that.
Yeah,
maybe she took it. Who knows?
If she didn't, she will.
Well, so we just said it, so now it's mine. They say, like, when you say it the first time, you give credit to the next person, and then after that is yours. So
yeah, there you go.
We'll just say it's mine now.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you want to share? Any last words? Has it all been worth it?
100%. 100%. I would do it again. I will say, though, anybody that's kind of going through a shift or doing something new for the first time, like, it's going to be scary. That's okay, though. There's going to be some nerves. It's going to be okay. Just don't quit.
Yep.
That's what I like to tell people now, is like, hey, like, shoot, if I would have quit, man, who knows where it would have been.
Yep. There's always... just take a step forward. Even an inch forward is still forward, right?
Be just 1% better every day, man.
Yep, very true. All right, sir. Well, thank you for spending the time with us.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
It was awesome. Hope you guys took a little bit of today. Hope took some notes. A lot of good information in there today. David, thank you for your time.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And we will be back again next time. Be safe. Love you guys.
Peace.